Hey, what's good, YouTube? This is Raw again, just adding on to this video. For those of you that believe in heaven and hell, or hell, period, where we're at right now is hell. There's no such place where there's a fire and brimstone and, you got the devil sitting on the throne torturing people. That doesn't exist. Hell is a place where you don't even know that you're in it. Hell is a place that you keep reincarnating into without ever thinking there's more, believing that this is it. Hell is being in hell, not knowing you're in hell, and keep coming back to it. I read a quote to where we're not human beings in search for a spiritual awakening, but we are spiritual beings trying to cope with the human awakening. So that spirit in us is trapped. This is a pit stop. You ever see NASCAR where cars, they go around in circles and they take a really brief pit stop to tune up. So this is just a place where we come to learn lessons and hopefully get out of here. That's all our ancestors tried to do, no matter where you're from across the world. I don't really know about Europe, but as far as the Middle East and Asia, Africa, the Americas, so-called Americas, the whole point was to learn lessons, connect with nature, connect with ourselves, and get back to who we really are, which is the spirit. We got to look at ourselves from that perspective. We have to look within, then look without. Instead of looking without, then trying to look within. It's not going to work that way. So with that being said, you think that they don't have access to your Akashic records, no matter who you are? They know who each and every one of you is, the chosen ones especially. Like I said, what's going on now, the last time really this happened was the 60s. And I heard Dr. Blair say best, that's when new and old souls were, they were reincarnating back into this planet to bring peace. The war was going on and all that stuff. So my parents, your parents, I don't know how old you are, but parents that are in their 50s, born in the 60s, those were a different type of breed. You had President Kennedy come out of the 60s. You had Malcolm X come out of the 60s. And I'm going to get to them. You had Martin Luther King come out of the 60s, Muhammad Ali, Wilt Chamberlain. That was a very, very special time on this planet because they knew that things were already gearing up to, to be where we're at right now. And so with that being said, the souls and spirits that are reincarnating today, that was child's play back then. This is the real deal because this is the last stand. This is the final battle. They know it. So with that being said, your Kobe's, your DMX's, your Tupac's, your Nipsey's, your Wilt Chamberlain's, your Muhammad Ali's, your Obama's, the list goes on and on. They know who you are before you reincarnate here, and they know what you're going to do. This is the Matrix. Their time doesn't exist. And like I said, our spirits have been on other planets. So a lot of you that are doing these forms of, and some of y'all are agents, some of y'all, were CIA trained, your whole families and everything, to carry out a specific task to make sure that the real Messiah is going to be looked at as something that's not the real deal. So a lot of you are agents. It could be athletes, could be musicians, could be actors, whoever you are. A lot of you were trained from the beginning, and you've been paid off well. Your whole families have been paid off well. And a lot of you are drones, empty vessels. So with that being said, they do that to confuse the masses, to prevent a real backlash. They're going to show you what it's going to look like, and then people are going to be in awe like, wow, that's not the real deal. That's to confuse you. Just like the news, CNN and all that, everything is programming. So they know exactly what they're doing at the most specific and precise moment in time possible. They know what they're doing because they've done this on other planets. If you ever look at the scene from Space Jam where Michael Jordan makes a deal with the alien, and the alien says, well, if you lose, you're going to be chained on a basketball court on another planet, on his planet, and perform basketball, for fans and lose every time for eternity. What does that mean? Really break that down. Lose every single time for eternity. Yeah, you're going to win. You're going to gain all the glory. You're going to get all the money, so-called money, and live comfortably, whatever planets you're on, but you're not even going to know that you're reincarnating. And you're going to perform that same task over and over again for eternity, no matter what planet you're on, because the Matrix has been on other planets. This is the last planet that it's going to attempt to do what it's done. So with that being said, they know who you are before you reincarnate. So all you chosen ones, you could be athletes, actors, musicians, whatever field you're in. When you know you're different, if you know you're different and you know you're chosen one, you know that from childhood. It's not like you develop into, yeah. Now you don't develop into that. You're born with, everybody's born with that, but those that are special, those that are chosen to be in these forms of entertainment, so millions of people can witness what they're doing, like the Kobe's. Kobe was born with that special, you saw something in him, but he had to work. He had the work ethic. But they know who you are before you reincarnate here. So all of you, I know a lot of you are waking up right now. And you got that platform to, reach millions of people. So you got to do what's right. No matter if you've already done what's wrong or whatever, the time is now to make that decision to where it's going to be too late for a lot of you. It really is. But they know who you are, and they're going to send different vices at you at different points in your life to make sure, because they already have something on you. We all know that. But they're going to send you a certain vice that's going to keep you like a ball and chain, that's going to keep that on your ankle for the rest of this lifetime. It could be drugs. It could be something's going on. Here's a basketball. They know who you are. They know, they're going to send agents into this matrix at specific moments in time to get you. So I look at, different, I'm sorry, I keep looking down because I got notes. But I look at different agents in this matrix to where they're going to keep you reincarnating to do the same form of entertainment you're doing to confuse the masses on whatever planet you're currently on. Like I said, they've done this over and over again. And when they do that, when they hand you a gloves, when they hand you a basketball, when they hand you some drugs, they're going to trigger a past life memory to where it's kind of like deja vu. And you're going to be like, wow, why does this seem so easy for me? Why can't I just pick this up like this? Or if they hand you drugs or whatever your vice is, that's what's going to ultimately be your downfall. So they know. Time doesn't exist. But yeah. So for a lot of you chosen ones, man, the time is now to really wake up and to really wake the masses up. There's no going back after this. Because like I said, this is the last stand to where all their attempts are going to fail. They know it. They're trying to block out the sun. Every single solar system, every sun is a binary star system, trinary star system. Meaning, all the planets revolve around this sun. Some solar systems have 2 to 3 suns, which means our sun is revolving around another sun, which is Sirius. And Nibiru revolves around us. Nibiru's already here. We just can't see it. We can see it sometimes, but they're blocking that out. But when we revolve around Sirius, that means we're getting closer to higher consciousness. What does the sun do to all life on this planet, on any planet? To melanin, to neuromelanin. What does the sun do for reincarnation? Meaning that every time we've already turned the corner into the age of, they call it Aquarius, but we've turned the corner into higher consciousness, and we're getting back to using more percentage of our brains and unlocking so-called junk DNA. We're getting back to that. We've turned the corner, meaning when we get closer to the Sirius sun, we're going to be at an all-time high. But we've already turned the corner, and people are beginning to see. That's why people are waking up all over this planet. People are starting to make the right decisions and saying, questioning things. Like I said, this didn't happen until the 60s. But now it's like this conscious, really, really a conscious and spiritual revolution. It's never happened like this in history before, because it's never going to happen again like this in history before. We're not going to just, go back to a certain age, the Bronze Age, until we get to the Gold Age, until it's not going to happen like that anymore. We're going to stay in the Platinum Age, and we're going to go beyond that. We're not going to the fifth dimension to get back to the first. We're going to the fifth dimension to get to the sixth and beyond. We're not doing this again. It's tiring, really. We're not doing this again. It's not going to happen like this again. So for all those that are pulling the so-called strings, your time is up, and you know it. This is the last stand, really. This is the last place that this is going to happen to, and they know it. There's never been a revolution like this before, ever. People are starting to realize the truth. And like I said, it's up to y'all. Like I said, I made my decision before I came here. I know who I am. Know who you are. Know thyself. Wake up. But we're going beyond that. Why make progress to digress? Why ascend to descend? Why go forward to, one step to move steps backwards? That doesn't make any sense. Why even do things that don't make any sense? Because we've been forced to. So it's time to get them out of here. Not to get them out of here, but to vanquish them so they don't exist, so we can keep moving forward and keep that higher state of consciousness once our sun really gets close to the Sirius sun and we turn that corner again. So we're going to stay there and just keep elevating. That's what it's time for. It's not time to go backwards. But you have the answers, and you know how to do it. But they know who you are. They have access to your Akashic records when you don't, because they took that away from you. They took that ability away from you for past life, to recognize who you were in your past lives. Because they're trying to map it all out for you when it's already been mapped out for you. Know the difference.